So here we are back in InDesign, and what I want to show you now is a short tutorial in how to import Illustrator files into your InDesign document. And what Illustrator deals with very well, so I'll just go down to Illustrator down the bottom here, is things like logos. So this is my own logo here, so I have the colour, the white version and the black version. So I took this white logo here and I just put it onto a separate page, so you'll see it here, the blue outline on it. And what you need to do in Illustrator is to bring a logo or any Illustrator file into InDesign, you need to save it as an EPS. The other thing you need to check for is if this is a document which is going to be printed, which InDesign mostly deals with printed documents, it needs to be CMYK. So you'll see up here I have it as CMYK. If you don't, you need to make sure that it is CMYK. The easiest way is when I copied this document, this was the document I designed for the web, so it's RGB. When I copied this logo and put it on its own page, when I went to File, New, I made sure down here, see color mode, I changed it to CMYK. So then I just went up to File, Save As, and I made sure that I picked Illustrator EPS. And the other thing you have to do is I explained earlier in an earlier tutorial, when this is for a magazine spread, so I have all of my images from my magazine spread together in one folder. So make sure you're very organized from the start. So I'll just cancel that because I actually already have the file saved in there. We could save it and let's replace it. Okay, there we go. So actually this is not a bad thing to show you. There are some options up here. Now I know in my design that my logo is going to go over an image, a photographic image, which I have prepared in Photoshop. So I need to make sure that this transparent is turned on. And you'll see why later on. Make sure this opaque isn't turned on and transparent is turned on. Some of these embed fonts for other applications, we have no fonts in this and we don't really need to worry about these. Just leave them as the standard options and we click OK. So we just let that save. So then in Photoshop, I just have an image here. This is an image that's I created as part of my branding. Again, I made sure I went into image mode, made sure it was CMYK. If it's not, change it to that. And I went to File, Save As, and I made sure I had it as a TIFF. Now I could turn the layers off. It would probably bring the file size down a little bit. And again, I'm saving it in the same folder that all of my images are in for this project. So we'll click Save. Okay, and here it's important, I showed you in an earlier tutorial, leave the image compression as none. I mean, you can turn these on, but I prefer to leave it as none. Leave this as is, and if you're on a Macintosh, make sure this is clicked on. Don't worry about the layer compression either because we've turned off the layers, and click OK. So I've everything prepared now. So in InDesign, first thing I'm going to do is import that image from Photoshop because that's going to be my background image for my my document here. So if I go File, Place, and where is it? Okay, this is the copied version that I just made, so I'll go with that one and click OK. So the same thing we did earlier, we have this faded image and we click and drag. Okay, so InDesign will keep the image proportional. Okay, now let's say for argument's sake, okay, that this is what I want. Okay, let's say some other kind of image, another photograph is going to go down there. Okay, in fact we could just put one in. Let's see, File, Place, let's find, that's the same one. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's just, I know this is not going to look great in terms of the colors and stuff, but let's say, okay, for argument's sake, that's what I want. I'm just going to, this is the direct selection tool. I'm going to go, sorry, this is the selection tool. I'm going to go to this direct selection tool. It's like a white arrow. And I'm going to click on my image and just move it up a bit. So let's say, for argument's sake, that's what I want. I'm going to go back to this selection tool because actually I noticed there's a little white strip there. Let me just fix that. So back to the selection tool and click off and click on here. I just want to sort this out. This is too big. I'm not going to worry about bleeds and things just yet. We'll come to that later on. So let me zoom in a bit. Let's say that's the front cover of my magazine, okay? It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So let's place in the logo now. So if I go File, Place, and here's our logo, EPS. I click Open, and the same thing will happen. If I click and drag, it keeps the logo proportional. And you'll see what Illustrator has done is because I clicked on transparency in Illustrator, it keeps that transparent background on the logo. So that's really, really handy thing to know. The other thing is when you look at this logo, let me zoom in, I'm hitting Command and plus. You're probably thinking, oh God, actually, you know something, it doesn't look great. It's all sort of pixely around the edges. The reason for that is, and I'll just turn this palette off up here. There's a palette here, I'll just actually turn that one off. There's a palette here, links. And if I click in there, you will see the 3 images that I have linked in this file. And essentially, this logo is like linked to the original Illustrator file. So when I go to print this, when I go File and Print, what InDesign does is it searches through the document for these links and it takes the information from the original Illustrator file, which is perfect. So essentially this is like a little preview of that image in this document. So you have nothing to worry about. It will, once you keep these links perfect, this will print out perfectly. I'm going to do another separate short tutorial just about links, so watch this space for that. But that's essentially how you bring an Illustrator file in and how it deals with transparent backgrounds, which is a really, really handy thing to know.